Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of MAGA Headline News. My name is Mike, and today is Monday, May 5th, Star Wars Day. If you happen to be a Star Wars fan, I am. Also pretty disgusted at what Disney's done with it, but I won't talk about that tonight. Tonight, we got a special treat for you. We are going to meet the infamous Big Balls from the Doge team. I'm sure you've all heard of them. The other day, Jesse Waters sat down with the Doge team and met them all. And after the introduction, we are going to go into about a minute to 2 minutes of the meeting where they drop a bombshell, a new bombshell that they found, as if we haven't seen enough bombshells already of what they found. But this one really deserves some recognition. So let's get right to that. Let's meet Big Balls, and then we'll get into the meeting a little bit.
Question on our mind. Who's Big Balls?
It's me. That should be obvious.
Why do they call you Big Balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's the infamous Big Balls, okay? Big reveal, right? So listen, what I'm going to do is we're going to go into this other video. They drop a major bombshell only like a minute and a half into it. Then we're going to come back and talk about it, all right? So let me bring the meeting up, okay?
Even Big Balls. And they showed us how Doge really gets done. We sat back, listened, and we learned a lot. And we hope you do too. Here's part one of our exclusive interview. Elon, thank you so much for bringing us into the meeting here. I'm going to do something no anchor ever does. I'm not going to talk.
What?
For as long as possible.
You're talking right now.
I'm going to let you run your meeting, and then I'll interrupt when I'm bored. So take it away.
So, like a board meeting.
Like a board meeting. Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess we normally go around the table, say what do we get done this week?
Want to go this way?
Sure. No, we start with you.
Sure. So actually, a lot of great work at the Treasury this week. One of the crazy things with regards to the Treasury is that when a payment is made, and the computers at the Treasury actually pay about $5 trillion per year, like crazy amounts, there was formerly not a budget code on there. So if a payment was made, you didn't know actually what it was for. It could have been for anything.
Yeah.
There was a $4 billion COVID fund in the Department of Education, and there was no receipts required, so people could just draw down on it. And when people looked into it, this wasn't us, this was before us, they found that money was being used to rent out Caesar's Palace for parties, rent out stadiums, et cetera. And so the one change that Doge made with the Department of Education is we had the simple requirement that if you draw down money, you must first upload a receipt. That was the only change that was made. You must upload your receipt. And upon doing so,
Yes.
nobody drew down any money anymore.
Yes, but we didn't say that we'd check the receipt. You could send a fake receipt. You could send a picture of your dog. Anything.
Anything.
And but as soon as we asked for anything at all, suddenly the requests were like, oh, we don't need it anymore. Huh, that's interesting.
They were renting Caesar's Palace.
Yes, they were like basically partying on the taxpayer money.
Stadiums.
Yes.
Leasing stadiums.
Leasing stadiums.
For what?
And that's just the big stuff, okay? That's just the big stuff. These people at the Department of Education had a $4 billion slush fund that they were just partying it up on, doing anything they wanted, okay? And this is what I mean when I say that the Democrat Party is stealing every penny they can get their hands on. And this is why you see the big smoke show when it comes to President Trump, because not only are they stealing grant money, Not only are they insider trading, not only are they trafficking children and the Epstein stuff involved with all of that, half of them, okay? They're all criminals. Everyone, it's not that they just decide. This is one big criminal syndicate that has taken over our government. Who would have ever thought? The amounts of money that are being stolen, wasted, whatever, and we are scrapping for every single dollar, while these liberal teachers, liberal educators are having a blast with a $4 billion slush fund at the Department of Education. Think about what $4 billion could have did for the schools in America. That's like 40 new high schools, okay? How many special education rooms it could be upgraded with new technology? How many new good teachers could have been hired? How many? I mean, it could go on. Textbooks, laptops, whatever. $4 billion. They're renting Caesar's Palace stadiums, having parties, the entire top floor of Caesar's Palace, partying it up, just going out to dinner, whatever they want to do. They don't even have to submit an explanation or receipt. And this is what the Democrat Party does. I've seen it firsthand locally. The grant money comes in from the state or from wherever to the local Democrats or to this Democrat. They chop it up. They steal every last dollar. Okay. And it's all going to come out eventually to be proven. The things we are seeing, I think, are so mind blowing that people don't even know how to react to it. Yes, we're shocked, but what do you even do when it's this level of corruption? I mean, literally, you have a political party that the judges are harboring terrorists, letting them live in their homes, letting criminals back on the streets. I've never thought in a million years, this is not even movie material. This is not even dream material. This is in pure insanity to keep the grift, to keep the illegal activity going, or really to stop Donald Trump, to keep themselves out of jail. So, right there as an example, that they're always saying, oh, the schools or the teachers union, you know what? I don't want to hear them hiding behind all this stuff, because it's always about them is what it is. And if you look at all the boys that are sleeping, the teachers that sleep with the young males, it's every single time it's a Democrat liberal teacher that's doing it, female teacher that's doing it. They're all Democrats. All right. Half the time it gets swept under the rug. I know, right? One in West Haven, Connecticut, years back, somebody that I know who it is and everything, they swept it right under the rug for her, the Democrat Party. Nobody wanted to hear anything about it. So, the amount of abuse that goes on by this party, and they still have these millions of voters that refuse to look at the big picture, refuse to look at any evidence, are so brainwashed by propaganda that, I don't know when the end is. When is it where that nobody else is going to wake up? Because that's the point when President Trump cleans up all these judges, okay, gets as many of these bureaucrats out of the government as possible. And when, as many people that could be woken up are woken up, that's the time he got to move in, arrest everybody, military tribunals. That's it. We only got one shot at this. Okay. If we blow it, they're going to come back. They're going to come back with a vengeance. We can't arrest them right now, because I say this in every video. You want to know why there's no arrest right now? Because Trump has to clean house first. And I'm going to say this line every single time. If you go arrest them now, the entire right, all of us, all the patriots will all be cheering. Yeah, we got justice, this, that, and the other thing. And then what is it going to do? A week later, it's going to backfire, because you're going to see these evil Democrats, these criminal Democrats, are going to get their day in court in front of Judge Bosberg and the rest of the liberal, radical, criminal judges. Okay. So right now we are still in the exposure phase, exposing things like these $4 billion slush funds. And you want to know, if you think that's the only one, you're out of your mind. Go look at California with that train that they've been building since the 90s. How many billions of dollars are dumped into that? Every penny of it stolen. Every penny. Okay. So right now, Trump and Elon, Doge, they need to defund. Just keep defunding, keep defunding, keep defunding, keep defunding. The more you pull their money away, the faster things are going to shut down, the faster you're going to see these NGOs shutting down that have all these influence that hire these rioters. You have to keep defunding them, keep defunding the colleges that aren't doing the right thing. Keep doing it and keep firing the bureaucrats. Keep, put the judges on the list for whatever they have to do. If they have to keep arresting them, if they have to impeach them as they keep exposing themselves. And eventually, when they're at their weakest point, Trump's going to have to move in, arrest everybody, military tribunals. I think that's the only way because, picture if, some of the most heinous crimes that we know about that like someone like Hillary's done. You put her on trial in America, all you need is one liberal blue-haired freak on the jury. That's it. And she's walking. Okay, this has to be done. This is an insurrection, a real insurrection. We're basically under a partial Marxist occupation of America. When you really think about it, think about how many cities are under the control of these radical Democrats, how many court systems, how many agencies. It's almost like it's just all mixed up. We are literally partially under the control of a Marxist regime, and it has to be cleared out. And President Trump's going to do it. I have faith in him. I don't care if he has to use the Insurrection Act at this point. It has to be done. I trust him with emergency powers more than I trust the Democrats with anything. So, guys, listen, I just wanted to bring that out. I'm glad we all got to meet Big Balls tonight. And I wanted to bring some attention to the $4 billion Department of Education slush fund that you could basically take. If you're there, if you're on the end with the Democrats, you could just draw from this slush fund, whatever you want to do. People must have been living real good. So yeah, that's about all I got for you tonight, guys. This has been MAGA Headline News for Monday, May 5th. My name is Mike, and we will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.